So thank you so much for joining us this evening to hear information about the next phase of the design for the permanent Water Spring Middle School campus, which will open in 2023. The school is located in the Horizon West Village H area, right next to the current Water Spring Elementary School. A few housekeeping notes about how this meeting will work. Attendees are automatically muted with cameras off. Please use the Q&A tool to ask questions. You can ask questions at any time, but we may not get to address your question immediately because we'll be doing all the Q&A at the end. So if you put in a question ahead of time, just try to stay around to the end of the meeting to hear the answer. The chats is available as a backup if you aren't able to get into the Q&A for some reason. And we are recording this presentation so that it can be watched again later. April Ann, if you could advance the slide, please. Okay, you can see the agenda here of what we're going to go over this evening. The video icons you see are panelists who are available to answer questions today. I'll be introducing them shortly. If you have any technical issues, you can reach WebEx support. I've put their phone number in the chat, but if for some reason you can't see that, WebEx support's phone number is 1-866-229-3239 and then extension 2 and extension 1. The meeting, as I mentioned, is being recorded and will be posted on the OCPS Facilities Communications YouTube page, as well as sent out as a link. The presentation slides are also posted. They're at facilities.ocps.net, and they are posted on board member Pam Gould's page at www.ocps.net under school board. If you could, if I'm just going to pause for just a moment to help board member Gould to make sure she's getting in. So if you could just look over the agenda and we'll be right back with you. Okay, I see board member Gould has joined us. So let's go ahead and turn things over to board member Gould for a welcome. Pam, is your audio working? Are you able to speak?
I think it is. Can you hear me all right? Great.
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, welcome everyone. We are at another exciting moment for Water Springs Middle School, and I don't want to delay us getting into all the good stuff. So I'll turn it back to the team to present our community meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, board member Gould. So this is what we call the 60% design meeting for this school. We had what was called a 30% design meeting a little bit earlier in the process when we were about a third of the way through the design. Now we're about 2/3 of the way through the design process. And the next meeting that we'll have will be when the design is complete. There will also be another meeting partway through construction. So in addition to board member Gould, we have from the teaching and learning side, we have Executive Area Director Wendy Ivory. She's a new Executive Area Director for the West Learning Community, so welcome to her. We have the Assistant Principal over Water Spring Middle School, Brian Sanchez Corona. He's on here. I see that some of the principals who are in the area, so Water Spring Elementary next door, Amy Klaber is on, and Michelle Thomas from Feeder School Horizon West Middle is on. We have several representatives from the architect on tonight. That's Harvard Jolly that's designing the school, and we have April Ann Malik, Jack Williams, and Tom Vandekieft are all on. Our traffic engineer on this project is Dow Consultants, and the subcontractor is TPD Traffic. And I saw Nadine Abu-Jabara came on from TPD, so if there are any traffic related questions. The civil engineer is AvCon, and we have Aldo Mejias on from AvCon. The construction manager for this project will be Core Construction, and so David Lewis is joining us from that team. From the OCPS facility side, the project management team has sent some representatives, and we have our design manager, Mo Arthur, on tonight. So Mo is here. I'm Lauren Roth. I'm the facilities manager over communications for this facilities department, so specifically this kind of thing. The director over construction planning, Jessma Lambert, is on. Stephen Thorpe from facilities planning is here, and so that's our part of facilities that works with our partners in the city and in the county. From the project management team, we have project manager Tamara Cox. Now, that's a name to remember because she's the one who connects OCPS with the architect and the construction manager throughout the life of the project. So Tamara will be here with us for all of these meetings and will be an integral part of this process. DM Horton, I know was planning to send Matt Stoltz on because the developer's already doing work out on this site. Senior Facilities Executive Director Rory Salambean is planning on joining us. In addition from OCPS, I know I'm almost done with the names. I know we've got a lot of people on. We have Commander Jamie Alberti from OCPS Police, Adam Zubritsky from Transportation, Devania Burns from, I know they've renamed it the Office of the Fire Marshal. And we also have representatives from Orange County government. We have Marcos Bastien, Christina Pichardo Cruz, and Diana Almodovar, all with Orange County, depending on what questions come up. So we appreciate our partners joining us here tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Brian Sanchez Corona for some opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. We have a quick community update. The Wildcat community is in full swing. We are at 27 staff members and about 392 students. That's about 130 at grade level. We are 100% staffed. To create that community and family feeling with our staff, we've already scheduled 3 social events. 2 of them have already happened. The first one was a virtual trivia night. We had Disney trivia, we had sports trivia, and Star Wars trivia. Unfortunately, I didn't win any of them, but we had a great time. Our second one, we actually went to a local restaurant, Winter Garden, because we want to get to know the community as well as advertise that we are here. It went very well. And our third one will be at a local park. We have been able to send out our first guidance newsletter, the Wildcat Word. It gave information about scheduling over the summer as well as guidance counselor hours. We have a big presence on social media already, and our community is engaging with us. So we're very excited about that. And I want to take a minute to thank the faculty and staff that are on tonight. Thank you for joining us. And of course, we cannot wait to see our students, and go Wildcats.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting because usually when we start to build a school, we don't have a principal or an assistant principal or any of that sort of thing in place this early on. So it's really neat to have a school name and even a mascot at this point. So now I'm going to hand things over to April Ann Malik with Harvard Jolly to share where we are with the design.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And to get to jump right into it and get us oriented to the site, we have a vicinity map. The Horizon High School, you can see over here on the right side of the screen. And if we hop across 429, you can see Water Spring Elementary School. And the important thing without that is Water Spring Middle School is going to be right next to the elementary school. Another line that we want to point out on this map is the county line, just to get oriented with Orange County over to the right. Okay, so getting a little bit closer to the site, we have our main road coming into the site is Water Spring Boulevard, and it's on the north side of the site. We have Street AA, which we are looking at. The future name might be Point Rock Drive. That's a name that we've been hearing is being proposed. And then Water Spring Middle School is sitting right between the elementary school over to the right and the future park to the left. Now getting into the proposed site plan, you can still see the elementary school and the future county park just to get reoriented, and that Water Spring Boulevard coming in on the north side of the site. Now, one of the things that you may notice has changed a little bit since the last site plan is you can see the stormwater retention. And so far in design, it looks like we're going to be able to lessen the amount of retaining walls on the site. Because to understand the site a little bit better, you have the elementary side is sitting up a little bit higher, and then it slopes down towards the future county park and Street AA being the lower side of the site, with the middle school sitting somewhere in between the two. Now, for car riders, they'll access the site through the north side off of Water Spring Boulevard. The car loop queuing goes through this parking lot, and there's a covered canopy for the car riders to get out, and that provides enough space for about 193 cars on site, all stacked in that car queuing. Now for the bus riders, they're going to come along Street AA and come in and have a covered drop off over on the side of the classroom building. Now for our walkers, they're going to come in either from the north side and cross this crosswalk and come in from the north side and end up for our bicycle riders, there's bike racks before they even get into the main part of the campus, so they can drop off their bikes as they get to school. And then the same thing if they're coming in from the west, then they can also drop off the bikes at this location. You can see here the visitors will come in through the primary point of entry, which is at the admin. So they'll park in this parking lot and come in through that entry point. Something else to point out on this site is that we do have a proposed spot for future portables, but this campus is not planned to start with any portables. It's just for future planning purposes. We provide them at all of the schools. Now, some of the site amenities, there's a soccer field with track. There's also basketball and tennis courts and a softball field. So I think that goes over a lot of the different things that you'll see on the site. Now looking in at the building a little more closely, we have, again, that main entry. So this is where we just came in from the site plan. And in building 1, you can see the administration area. There's also art, ag, and other business labs. In building 2, that's going to be like your cafeteria. So we're showing that it has the multi-purpose and dining area that also has a stage, and then also the kitchen and receiving area. And then along the front of it is actually a wing for music classrooms. Now moving along to the classroom building, we have a combination of classrooms and collaborative spaces. There's also skills labs and science labs on the first floor. And the last building is the gymnasium over on the west side of the site. And then you can see here that the car riders will enter through the building 2, the multipurpose building, and the bus riders will enter over on the classroom side. So now looking at what that does on the second floor, we have the media, and it's actually above the administration area. And then there's additional different business labs on that second floor as well. And then there is a covered walkway that connects from the media center over to the classroom building. And the classroom building has some of the same things as on the first floor with collaborative spaces, skills labs, and science labs. Now moving on to the third floor, just the classroom building pops up to the third floor with some of those same spaces. Now looking at some of the sustainable features that we have in the building and site, just to name a few, we have native and low impact water landscaping, which reduces water consumption. We have low impact design with the stormwater design. The building is 10% more energy efficient than a baseline building that we compare it to. Some of the other things is we have some light colored surfaces that help with that improves the energy efficiency and different Energy Star rated equipment, and just lots of other features that help be more sustainable on the site. Now taking a look at, this is a prototype design, so that means that there's actually a couple of example schools that you could drive by to see the similar design. The two of them are Horizon West Middle School, that's close to this school, and then also Innovation Middle School. So those are both very similar, the same prototype design. So taking a look at some of the photos from those designs, you have Horizon West Middle School, and this is what you access as a visitor onto the site. You come right in from the parking lot and go into this administration space. And then this is within the administration space where you would check in. And everything's from this single point of entry during this school day. And now this is looking at a typical classroom building with the interactive TV. So they have interactive TVs in all of the classrooms. Now looking at the Technology Resource Center, and what this space is it's a collaborative space in the classroom building, and it's not assigned to any one classroom. It's actually used as like a breakout area for teachers to be able to pull their class out in interactive ways. So it's an extra space to the school, and there's a couple of these on each floor. And now this is just a typical classroom corridor looking back at that collaborative space. So you can see where they're all in centralized locations for the classrooms to be able to use. Now here's a typical science lab. And then this is an example of the media center, in which case there's a lot of different type of seating and flexible spaces. This is an example of the TV studio. And here's the art lab. And here's that multi-purpose room. So it's a cafeteria, but as you can see here, it also has the stage, so it can be served, it can serve in many ways. And then on the other side, you can see the kitchen beyond. So taking a little bit closer look into that kitchen, here are the serving lines. And then here's an example of the gymnasium. And then here's the courtyard that's in the center of all of those classroom buildings. And you can see this 2-story walkway. This gives you a better idea of what it looks like out at the site. And it connects the media center over to the classroom building. So some of the site amenities, we have basketball courts and tennis courts. And here is the track and soccer field. And this also gives you a different view of that 3-story classroom building off in the background. Now getting into the project schedule, we're currently in design, and that will be wrapping up in September. Then we'll move on to a permitting and bidding phase. And then in February is when construction will start. And construction will last all the way through to June of 2023 with a move-in time over the summer so that it'll start as your new school in August 2023. Now turning it over to Tamara.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to jump in and share a few of the developer milestones with you. As many of you are aware, currently Water Springs Boulevard dead ends there at the existing elementary school. The developer, D.R. Horton, will be responsible for the road infrastructure that will be coming up as a part of the school. At this time, the design itself has been completed, and the developer has completed all of the burning and clearing activities that were going on as well. Currently, they're in the process of bringing in the utility stub-outs. That would include the electrical, the water, as well as the reclaim. They're preparing this portion of the construction along with the roadway for the school once it starts construction later on in February of next year. The site pack grading will also be start in early mid-July. And the adjacent roadway, which we have identified as Street AA, that construction base will also begin sometime in mid-July. We are working towards a paving of that area sometime in early August. So those are some highlights from the developer. Hopefully there will be someone to join us if there's any additional questions in regards to the construction of the roadway, Water Springs Boulevard.
Hey, thank you so much, Tamara and April Ann. So if you would like to ask questions, the Q&A is a great place to do that. April Ann, if you could just move to that slide so people can see where to access their Q&A button. So this is how you can ask a question. If you can't find your Q&A, you can just drop something in the chat also, and we'll be able to see it there. So this meeting is being recorded. And if you were only able to listen into part of it and want to be able to rewatch it later, it will be on the Facilities Communication YouTube page, and it'll also be linked on Board Member Gould's page. The next meeting that we'd be having about this project will be when design is complete, but before we've started construction. So that would be in the late fall or early winter. And if things continue to move in the direction that they're moving right now, that would be an in-person meeting. I also wanted to mention that if you haven't seen the zone for the school, that was something that the board adopted a while ago, and I put the link in the chat where you can go and see it. It's basically on the OCPS student enrollment webpage, and you just go to board approved rezonings, and then you would choose this middle school, which was originally known as Site 65 before it was named by the community. So I'm still not seeing any questions in the Q&A. Pam, was there anything you wanted to discuss in particular?
No, I think you all covered it very thoroughly. I know the county is on top of all of the connectivity issues out there and will continue to work together with them. I thank you for attending, and please do share your information with your friends so that they can stay up to speed on this site. And as Lauren said, it'll be on the OCPS site, and it's also on my section of the webpage, so anybody can get to it pretty easily. Thank you and have a great evening.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming. Have a good night.